Can you see the smoke?
No, I can't.
You can't. I feel like I'm like in a bad movie, like a B movie. It's like all this really bad smoke and ooh. Anyway, I did a class yesterday that I actually practiced along with the group, and it was kind of an all focus practice, but it really worked on the stability and the position of the pelvis in relationship to the lower back. So it actually felt really good. Not a lot of truly deep postures that we find a deeper expression, but just kind of a good coverage of hamstrings, hips, lower back. So I thought we could maybe tap in again to that for our practice today. So let's go ahead and take a moment and just come to as comfortable a seat as you can. And allow the hands to rest somewhere. You can interlace them, just don't let them touch the floor yet. And then just kind of move your seat a little bit from side to side. And what we want to access is our sit bones. You can kind of lean forward a little bit and almost feel like you're pushing your seat back to root down and connect towards the mat. And then once you find that connection, kind of as your legs are crossed or even extended out, just squeeze in. So as you inhale, you want to squeeze the legs together all the way up to the top of your breath. And then as you exhale, you're just going to release that hold on the legs and relax. We'll do several of these in a row. So as you inhale, you'll squeeze the legs together actively all the way up to the top of the inhale. And then you'll exhale and release all the way down back into the pelvic floor and into the mat. A few more times. Squeeze together as you inhale. And release and exhale. Two more. Inhale, squeeze. And release and exhale. One more. Inhale, squeeze. And then exhale and release. Now on that last release, you'll feel pretty heavy in towards the mat. That's what we want to connect to. Allow a nice development of the relationship to the breath. Engage your abdominals to support that lower back. Feel the energy move up into the upper chest. Move the shoulders back and apart. Take a couple rounds of breath. And just enjoy this moment before we enter into the exploration of our bodies through practice. You're taking some nice deep rounds of breath, finding a fullness that comes with that. And then while we sit in this position, let's take a moment to connect to an intention of the practice. Allow it to come to you naturally. Nothing forced. We'll place the hands in the prayer position to the heart. This is known as Anjali Mudra. We'll take a deep, full breath as we invite that intention in for our practice, and as we exhale, we bow our heads. From that position, we'll lift the chin as we inhale, and simply take the hands out to the side and place them just a little bit behind your hips. Come to fingertips, and actually, we want to root down on the fingertips and lean forward just a little bit. And then release your hands back to your thighs. Take your chin and let it fall to the chest. We'll let gravity do most of the work here, and then we'll swing that left ear over towards the left shoulder, opening the right side of the neck. This is just a nice way to start the practice, gently moving into the body. We'll do 2 rounds of several variations of this to open the shoulders and the neck, get the blood flowing a little bit. Come back into neutral and then take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Left side starts to open a little bit. And then from that position back into neutral, chin to chest, left ear, left shoulder. This time just make the right shoulder a little heavier so you feel a deeper stretch on the right side. And then we come back into neutral and we take the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then the left shoulder moves down a little bit. Good, come back into neutral and then lift your chin and then place your hands back out to the side, fingertips, take your left ear towards your left shoulder so it's just tilting to the left. Take your shoulders down, so stretch your fingers away from the body. These fingertips are just acting as like an outrigger. Come back into neutral, take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Come back into neutral, take the left to the left side last time. Come back into neutral, right side last time. Then come back into neutral, allowing the hands to stay on either side of the hips. Take the right arm up and over towards the left. And as we do, we stretch that right side. Take your right hip and make it a little heavier. Take the right hand back to the floor and take the left arm up. And then we'll start this kind of little teetering back and forth, like a seesaw, just kind of moving with the control of the core, and then allowing ourselves to move a little bit more detailed, a little bit more expressive, so we start to awaken other areas within the body. We want to keep those hips incredibly anchored to the floor as we move from side to side. And then as we move from side to side, let's feel that lower back start to ease a little bit, feel the hips start to open up. Just feel some nice space starting to form within the body. Continuing to move with our breath. And then from there on, when we switch over to that left side or left arm up and over, take your left arm and just kind of sweep it in front of you. Take it over towards the right and then let the right arm follow as you take that right shoulder and pull it back. And then take it down, sweep it across, left hand follows, and you sweep over towards the right. We'll do a few of these in a row, allowing the hips again to stay anchored. Just kind of sweeping back and forth. Feeling the space, moving with our breath. Let's do 2 more. Do 1 more towards the right. And when we come back, we'll pause in the center line of our body. Fingertips are going to be out front. Move the shoulders back. And allow yourself to take a little tuck of the tailbone to feel that anchor into the floor. And then walk your hands forward. You can stay on fingertips or palms can release to the floor, but the most important thing is that we keep our hips connected to the mat. Walk it to the left. And as we do, we'll take that same action in that right hip and pull it back and push it down. Good, come back into neutral, take it to the right. And from there, left hip pulls back and down. We'll take it to the left last time for a variation. Now as you walk over towards the left, take your right rib cage and make it a little heavier. You can even look over towards the left side just to allow the mid-back to open up a little bit. Come back into neutral, we'll take it to the right for the last time. And let that left ribs move down. Good. Come back into neutral, we'll take that final breath in this position. As we exhale, we'll walk our hands forward, stretching, feeling the length, a couple rounds of breath. You know, once we start to connect to opening space in our body, it's almost addictive because it allows for things that don't serve us well to release. It cleanses the body, and it just makes you feel so good because your freedom of movement is so enhanced. There's less restriction, less inflammation. And then walk your hands back. And then from there, let's move to an all-fours position. So in our all-fours position, we'll take a absolute tabletop. So shoulders will be directly over your wrists, knees will be directly underneath your hips, and if it's comfortable, let's tuck the toes under. And then round your back by pushing into the hands a little bit. And from there, we'll just start a couple cat-cow, nothing fancy, but just inhale and then exhale. Again, taking the breath and moving it through the body, exploring as we move. Now we'll do two variations to open our side body as we start to move a little bit deeper in towards our practice. Let's come back into neutral, and all we're going to do is simply look over our left shoulder. We look towards the back of the mat, we pull the right hip back. We'll take this deeper in a moment, but for right now, we're just stretching that outer right side. We come back into neutral, we look over the right side and pull the left hip back. Good. Come back into neutral, a couple more cat-cows. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Squeeze the forearms together and squeeze your inner thighs together. Good. As you come back into neutral, we're going to take that right leg back, stretch it all the way through the heel so that back body gets really long, right foot comes off the floor, and move it to the outside of the mat on the left. Push down, and we peek back over the left shoulder. We see our right foot. Pull the right hip back. Breathe into the right side body. We come back into neutral. We take that right leg up and lift it and push through the heel. Inhale, exhale, right knee into the chest. Push through the heel. Bring it in. Out. About 5 more. On this last one, when we bring it in, we look to the outside of our right hand and simply step the right foot outside the mat. Take your hands to your hips. So we're in a wider low lunge and allow the hips to move down a little bit, stretching that left side. And we'll just take our arms up into a cactus position. Opening across the chest. pulling the ribs back, and just kind of letting gravity do the work here as our hips kind of fall down a little bit and stretch. And then take your right arm out, take your left hand to your right knee, and just kind of open up towards the right and twist. Stretch. We want to let the shoulders move down, open across the upper chest, and even that right knee can push and resist with that left hand. And then we're going to slowly come back into neutral. Place the hands down and simply bring that right knee back underneath your hip. Inhale, look forward, exhale, couple cat-cows. So allow this cat-cow after those postures to kind of be the balancing component of that. 2 more. Good. Neutral. Left leg goes back. Lift it up. Move it to the outside on the right. Round the back. Look over the right shoulder. See the left foot. Pull that left hip back and stretch. Awesome. Come back into neutral. Lift the left foot up. Inhale, left knee to chest. Three or 4 more. And on this next one, when we bring it in, we squeeze in, we round our back, we look to the left side, step our left foot forward, hands to hips. Shoulders are back, open heart, move into cactus. Pull the ribs back and open across the chest. Taking some nice deep rounds of breath. Again, allow gravity to do the work so I feel like the hips are moving down, stretching. Left hand goes long, right hand, left knee, and open up to the left. Stretch. We're going to do one more variation after this. Take your hands down to the floor and bring that left knee back underneath your hip. Couple cat-cows. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, neutral, right leg moves back again. This time we lift it, we bend the knee. Keep it about knee and hip height and do about 10 pumps in a row. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right knee comes into the chest, actively round your back, and then step the right foot between your hands. Hands to hips. Shoulders are back. This time we take a deeper expression as the arms move up. Hips move down, stretch the hip flexors and breathe. 5, 4, 3. Take your right arm back, take your left hand, so a different coverage of that same twist that we did a moment ago. Lengthen. Shoulders are back and apart. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Inhale. Hands down, right knee back underneath the hip. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Neutral. Left leg goes back. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, start your pumps. 10 in a row. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, Left knee to the chest, move it forward. Lift up, shoulders are back, arms up and stretch. Breathe. Again, allow the hips to move down a little bit. And then that right hand transitions to left side, left arm moves back. And from there, take a breath. Hands down. Now from here, what we're going to do is we'll lift that right knee and step our right foot forward. From that position, we fold. Keep the knees nice and bent. Move the hips from left to right. No pressure in the neck. Just a nice little release of the neck and the shoulders and the back and the legs and the hips. And then come to a half lift, inhale. Bend the left and work on straightening your right leg to get a little deeper into that hamstring. Switch, bend the right, straighten the left. Come back into neutral, half lift, hands to hips. And then slowly come all the way up to standing. And then from there, shake your legs out a little bit. Take a couple deep rounds of breath. Get your body used to being in this new position, this standing posture. And what we'll do here is we'll move through a sequence of building steps. So as we move through our practice, we will take a foundation pose and we will build on it. So our foundation pose is going to be our runner's lunge. So let's take a couple half sun salutations to get us started. Inhale, arms up, and we fold, exhale. Half, fold, standing. And then release. Couple more. Inhale, arms up. And release. Move with quality. Move with a connection to the body. So move every part as a team. Two more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. And release. Last one before we move into our foundation posture. Excellent. And release. Take a breath. Full cycle of breathing. And as you exhale, feel the feet get really connected to the floor. Arms up and down. Moving gracefully through these postures with control. Inhale. Left leg moves back. Runner's lunge. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the right knee or thigh. Push in and just simply open up towards the right. Pull that right hip back and stretch. And then just open that mid back. Keep your left leg super strong. So left thigh is moving into the hamstring. Look down, left foot forward. Half. And fold. Standing. And release. Second side. Inhale, arms up. And fold. Half, right back. Right hand down, left hand to the thigh. Open up. Breathe. Good. Look down, left hand down, right foot forward. Half, fold. Standing. And releasing. Perfect. Now we're going to build on that just a couple more rounds, and we're going to do a good portion of the balance of our class on the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Half. Left back. Left hand down, right hand to the knee, and open up. Stretch. Keep the shoulders moving away from the ears. Open up towards the right. Keep your left thigh up. Keep your right thigh moving back. So we want to feel the outer hips move in for that stability. Now we're going to move into a lunging warrior. So look down, bring your left heel down. Right hand is on the inside. And simply walk it off the mat to the left. Now we're going to pull that right hip back and soften our upper back. 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to our runner's lunge, left foot forward, half. And a nice deep fold, exhale. Standing. And releasing. Second side, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Half, right back. Left hand, right knee, stretch and open. Good. 3, 2. Now transitioning right into our lunging warrior. Look down, turn the right heel in, walk your hands off the side to the right. Left hip pulls back, soften the upper back and breathe. And walk it back to a runner's lunge, step your right foot forward. Half, fold. Lengthen and release. Good. One more round. We'll add on. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to fold. Half. Left back. Left hand down, right hand open up. Maybe our deepest expression of the morning. Shoulders are back. Just feel that body get cleansed, releasing toxins for 3, 2, move right into your lunging warrior. Off to the left. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Runner's lunge, left knee down. Now from this position, we're going to arms up. We're going to go cactus. We'll squeeze the inner thighs together, and then from that position, we'll take our right hand to our right thigh. We'll kind of roll that thigh open, stretch the left arm up, and then take that left elbow to a deeper twist as we move over towards the right. Now, your right hand can stay here, or perhaps bring the hands to prayer. Let the elbow lift up, push in, and open to the right. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Undo, hands down, left foot forward. Half, fold, standing, and releasing. Last side in the sequence, inhale. Fold. Half. Right back. Open up. Moving into our lunging warrior off to the right. Stretch. Walk it back, right knee down. Arms up, cactus. And from our cactus, we set those outer hips in. Once we feel stable, left hand down, right arm up, and twist. And as we twist, we move the shoulders down, maybe the palms. Three, two, one. Look down. Right foot forward, half, fold, standing. And releasing. Nicely done. Take a deep, full breath. Exhale. Hands to hips, and step your right leg back, and let's open the wide stance to the right. So take your feet a little wider apart. You adjust accordingly, so the wider the feet, the closer the mat. Shoulders are back. Squeeze the inner thigh together. Inhale. Then we're going to fold halfway. Now when we fold halfway, we're going to push the hands into the hips so the hips feel like they're moving back. And keep that half lift, but drop your hands to the floor, rest on fingertips. And then from there, start a couple cat-cows. So inhale, look forward, and then a big exhale and round. Inhale. Squeeze the inner thighs together to allow that stability of your hips in the lower back. Two more. And then on the next inhale, where we come into that neutral extension of our spine, inhale, and then on our next exhale, we fold. As we fold, the hands stay underneath the shoulders for support, and allow the hips to feel like they're pulling away from the heels to add length. Good. Back to half lift. And then inchworm your feet about, an inch or two closer together. Hands to hips and come all the way up to standing. Turn your right toes and face them towards the back mat. So we're going to open up towards the left. Square the hips and come into your cactus. So a warrior two variation. Take a little tuck of the tailbone and open across the thighs and open across the upper chest. And then stretch out to your warrior two position. Take your right forearm to your right thigh and stretch your left arm over. And just breathe into this side body. So the side body is moving to the right. That left shoulder is moving open. And that right forearm is rooted in towards that right thigh. Now a little bit of a pullback on the right hip. We'll take a breath and we'll move it back into warrior two. Straighten your right leg, take your left hand to your left hip, and then lean forward, stretch. But as you lean that right hand forward, pull this right thigh back into the hip. So you deepen this crease here, and then transition that right hand down towards the shin or floor. Move that left side body back, and you can take your left arm up and over, or you can stay hand on hip, and you'll breathe. About 5 breaths. 4. Keep that right foot heavy, so like a gas pedal, for 3. For 2. And slowly move it back into warrior 2. Looking towards your right hand, take a couple deep breaths in this posture. And just kind of feel it. Move through the body with your breath. Enjoy. This takes a lot of stability to hold this posture in proper alignment, so it's an active pose. Straighten the right leg, turn your right toes in, take your hands to your hips, take your left toes and point them towards the back. Square. Take your arms into cactus. Take the thighs apart, take the shoulders apart. Left hand to the thigh. Right arm can come up and over, or right hand to the hip. And then move that right side body to the left. Root that left forearm down. And open across the chest. Breathe. Couple rounds of breath. Again, very active. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Stretch. Left leg gets long, right hand to the hip. Again, stretch that left fingertip forward, and as you do, you're pulling that left hip in to deepen that crease. That left hand can come down towards the shin. From that position, roll that right shoulder open. Left palm out heavy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to look down, release your right hand down, come back to a runner's lunge, and we're going to step back into downward dog. Now this will be our first and only downward dog of the practice. Now it'll feel totally different now than it would be if we had come into it 40 minutes ago. Stretch, and then release your knees down. Come back to your seat. Now as you come to your seat, take your legs out, windshield wiper. Now, we're going to do some forward folds here. We're going to ease back on a deeper expression. So we're going to be more focused on alignment and connecting to a greater opening without having to go deeper. Okay, sit up as tall as you can, find those sit bones, flex your ankles, take your hands behind you, roll the shoulders back, and then lean into the thighs. Now pull your thighs back and just take your hands somewhere comfortably on the legs. Now take your heart and try to move it forward towards your toes. Try to find extension in your spine. Don't worry about how far you go. If you can get your hands to your toes, that's fine. But we're not really going very far. We're just activating that dynamics of the legs by pulling your hips back, pushing your heels forward, and letting them do the work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strong core and release. Take your feet about mat width. Take your hands back behind you, shoulders are back, and again lean forward. Pull your hips back, let the hands rest comfortably somewhere. Heart is trying to move right up the middle of the legs. Stretch, breathe. Maybe hands to toes. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Strong core release. Now, keep your right leg where it is. Simply take your left sole of the foot to the inner upper right thigh. But the right leg is out to the side, hands behind us. Pelvis is square to the top of the mat. Inhale, take your left arm up. And as you exhale, twist over towards the right and take that left hand somewhere along the outside of your right shin, maybe even the foot. Again, not trying to go to a full deep expression, but just allowing that hamstring to get active. The same heart offering as it moves forward. We're pulling that right thigh back and we're stretching. You can take the right hand wherever you like. It can stay behind you if you'd like. On the shin, even interlace the hands behind the sole of that right foot if you have room without going beyond too far. A couple rounds of breath. We'll hold this particular Janu Sirsasana a little bit longer. Full breathing. And then from there, you're going to lengthen out of it, and you're going to move right into a twist to the left. Right hand, left knee, open up, and stretch. Shoulders are back. What are you doing with it? And then a nice big counter twist to the right. Stretch. And come back. We're going to simply switch sides. Left leg moves out, right foot comes in, square hips, lengthen and take your fold. Right arm comes up, stretch it to the outside of the left. And then offer the heart forward, pulling that left thigh back and just stretching, finding as much length as you can. Mindfully moving forward, keeping the integrity of the posture, and breathing. And as I move to this side, it reminds me that both sides are not equal. One side can certainly be tighter than the other, as in this instance. So I'm being particularly mindful about how far I go and being respectful for my left side of the body today and not being overly enthusiastic about going any deeper than where I am right now. But we'll hold it for a little bit and let the body just naturally open up and stretch, creating the wonderful dynamics of strengthening the joints, increasing the mobility of the joints, and all the connectivity that moves into the joints, building mobility and flexibility. We'll slowly come out of it. We'll twist to the right, left hand, right knee, and open up. Reach the shoulders back, sit up as tall as you can, and just breathe. Inhale here, nice big counter twist to the left. And then from there, before we move to our next seated section, all we're going to do is come into a cross leg. So bring that left ankle in, sit up tall, and just take a moment or two here. We've been moving now for about 45 minutes, so just take a moment or two to experience the body and to appreciate what it is presented to you today. And again, each day can show you something different. We'll do a nice little twist to the right, left hand back to the knee and twist to the right. Gentle twist, nothing fancy, just a nice little continuing of kind of feeling that we're wringing out the body of toxins. Continuing to stabilize our lower back. And we'll twist over to the left. And then we'll come back into neutral. We'll undo the cross to the point where we can get the soles of the feet together. Now, we can hold onto our ankles or we can take our hands behind us, wherever it's most comfortable. But either position, we want to sit up tall and move the shoulders back. You don't have to draw the knees in too much, just enough to feel, or the heels, just enough to feel some stretch. And we can take that heart forward, and the same principles will apply here as they did in the forward fold. Well, we're not going to find an overly deep expression. However, we will do one a little bit, and after this one, just a little bit deeper. But if our elbows reach down to the inner thighs, we can kind of push them down and stretch them out as we take the heart forward. So we want to continue to find as much length in the spine as we possibly can. A simple, gentle forward fold. Yes, this is more involved with the hips than our traditional forward fold, but it is in fact considered a forward fold. And then slowly come out of it, and we're going to do another twist. We're going to twist to the right again. Left hand, right knee twist. So the knees are a little further apart. We want to sit up tall, allowing that right hand, backhand to kind of guide your heart forward and lifting your torso. And then we'll twist over to the left. And we'll come back into neutral, and keeping the feet in the position they are, just move them forward, 5 or 6 inches, not much. Hands behind us, and this time we're going to actively lean forward into it. And we can round our back. We can take our hands to our ankles, or if you have the room, take them underneath your ankles, grab the tops of the feet, pull your heart forward, and then round your back there. So this will be the final seated position of our practice today as we stretch. Again, the crown of the head is trying to move forward, but we're offering flexion in the spine to kind of go a little bit deeper. And from that very relaxed position. Slowly come out of it. Take your hands to the outside of your knees, lift them up, scoop the feet forward, and let's come to our backs. So as we position ourselves on our backs, interlace your hands behind your head. Keep your head just a little bit elevated, so your head is resting in the cradle of your hands. And just rock your head from left to right. And then from that position, one more. Come back into neutral and then let the head go back to the mat. From that, we're simply going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. We'll do our nice twist to the right. So drop your knees to the right. Take your right hand to your left knee and push it away from you so you get a little bit more space in that hip. So an external rotation. And that left arm can, in fact, come over your head. Stretch it back. And then come back into neutral and we'll simply take the knees over to the left. And as it moves to the left, the right arm can stretch back. And then from there, you're going to come back into neutral and bring that right thigh in, interlacing the hands strongly behind that right thigh. Ankles are flexed, shoulders are back, and then perhaps that right foot goes up. Now, the last little bit of full on here on our back. So pull your right toes back a little bit, and for the next 10 count, if it's comfortable, release your hands. Toes are pointing back, sole of the foot flat to the ceiling or sky. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Feel that right leg engaged and present. 3, 2, 1. Right foot to the floor. Switch. Left moves over. Drop your knees to the left. Take your left hand or right knee, push it away from you, take the right hand over your head, stretch it back. And a release, come back, take your knees over to the right. And left arm can move back. Come back. Bring the left thigh in, interlace. Again, strong connection of hand to thigh. Shoulders back, both ankles flexed, left leg goes up. Feel that hamstring get active. Position yourself, release your hands. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot to the floor, right foot to the floor, and then take a breath, bring your soles of the feet together, let your knees open wide, and a little bit of bounce. A couple inches either direction with the knees. Stay controlled. Okay, it's not a fish out of water. Controlled movement up and down. You are setting the tone, moving into the hips, and you can feel the hips actively working. A couple rounds of breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet back, knees in, happy baby pose. And then as we move side to side in our happy baby pose, maybe we start a little bit of a circular movement, like we're stirring a pot. Okay? Again, stimulating a little bit deeper movement in the lower back, but a very relaxed, controlled movement as we prepare the body for Shavasana. You're using your core to control this movement. If you can position your hands over the ball mounds of the feet, you can do that. And then reverse the circle. And then from there, slowly bring the knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Inhale. And then release the legs all the way out to the top of the mat. We'll take several minutes in Shavasana, but position yourself to where you are absolutely the most comfortable you can be. Feel the body sink into the mat. Take a nice deep full breath and allow that exhale to carry you deeper into the floor, into the mat. Let your eyes rest closed for a couple moments and just breathe and enjoy the sensations that your practice has brought you. At your pace, begin to deepen the breath. Allow some gentle movements to kind of bring your body back to this time and this place. Still maintaining those sensations that you were able to create through your movement and through your breath in our practice. Slowly, as you come back to a seated posture, we take a full couple rounds of breath, allowing the body to settle into this very tranquil space. We take a moment in this place to recall that intention of this practice, the guiding force, the foundation. We draw our hands back into prayer position to the heart. And it is from that place that we bow our heads. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and thank you so much for joining me in our practice. Namaste.